Hey McDonald Middle School class of 2026, it's Mrs. Kilday. I can't believe it. We've made it to the end of the year. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to be working on your last assignment, which is to either come up with two imaginary or real species that have some kind of relationship, whether it be mutually beneficial or only one party having some beneficial pieces to the relationship. We're going to go back to when we first started. We started this year out by looking at a picture of a water buffalo. So I'm going to go ahead and move my screen to look at the water buffalo photo. You're going to see it here under today's date. Back when we first started our continuous learning, we asked you to take a look at this buffalo and try to figure out why is it covered in frogs. I've linked the article, the research article, that scientists published regarding this, but I wanted to give you some of the highlights of that before you left for the summer. A lot of you in your answer talked about the frogs eating the flies off the water buffalo, and that is true. A little more background about this water buffalo. It's actually a domestic, so it is intentionally raised by farmers. These are domestic buffaloes, and they're let out into the marshy regions to graze and to feed on different grasses. This is actually something new for scientists, finding the frogs on them. This tends to only occur for a short season, usually around October, when we find those frogs feeding on the water buffalo. So yes, this is mutualism. It is beneficial for both of the organisms. It's beneficial for the water buffalo because then they're not being bothered by or bitten by the flies. And it's also beneficial for the frogs because scientists believe the reason this only happens once a year is it's October, and it tends to be a time where population of the frog is very high, and therefore competition for food is very tight. Food is very scarce, so this provides another food source for them. It is also possible that part of the reason they're taking up a temporary residency in the buffaloes' backs and heads is because they are able to benefit from the body heat of these large mammals. It warms up the frogs when the air temperatures get cold, according to this study. So, hopefully, at the end of all of this, you were able to come up with some ideas that you were thinking that, yeah, the water buffalo is benefiting, but so are those frogs from a food standpoint as well as from a temperature and keeping warm standpoint. Mr. Hyde and I hope you guys have a marvelous summer. Please come back next year and see us. We can't wait to see you in the halls and at lunch and just all around McDonald Middle School.